I have a question for Afonso. When I was reading the novel in Rahul's really good translation. In terms of the structure, I was just reading it and it reminded me quite a lot of Milan Kundera, in that I was just thinking, how on earth do you even begin to structure this sort of narrative? And I just wonder, for this book, did you have a plan to do this? Did you sort of plan the twists and turns that it would take? Or did you just start writing about something, or wanting to write about something and then seeing where it took you? And then to follow up on that, unfortunately, I haven't really read anything else in your back catalogue. And I wonder if is it a departure from your other novels in that way?
No. Well, it's a more maze-like novel than the others I wrote, but it's the style is more or less the same, except maybe the novels I wrote for young readers. Usually I structure everything, and sometimes people ask me if I have problems with a blank screen or a white page, or if I'm afraid of that. And I don't have that problem, because I never sit in front of a computer if I don't have an idea. So if I don't have an idea, I cook, I walk, I read. But I'm not that masochist of sitting without an idea. So usually I think before I write. I usually tend to divide writers between epimethaic and promethaic writers, meaning that the promethaic writers, they think before they write, and the others, it's all the way around. Usually they spend more time cutting things, whether for instance, it's the opposite. I have usually a story from beginning to the end, and I add things during the process. So my process, it's a little bit like it's like a sculpture with clay. You put more clay on a structure, and it's the opposite of the sculpture that works with stone. It takes stone out of a block of things, and so I think before I write, but it's not a better method. It's just it's it's the one I prefer. It's only that. But the thing is that I knew so well this structure, all the episodes of this novel, that when I sent it to my editor, they were all mixed up. All these episodes, they didn't have any chronological order, and it was even harder to understand, much harder to understand. And she told me something like, you shouldn't do such a nasty thing to your readers. And so but I wasn't aware that it was difficult. And after I ordered the chapters in a chronological way, even then, which I thought it was now easy to read, all the journalists who call me, they and critics, they were saying that this was like a labyrinth. The structure was hard to understand and follow, and things like that. So, but that has to do with the writer's job. We are afraid of being pornographic. We are afraid of not being subtle enough, and sometimes we become hermetic because of that. Because we are, and also because we know the labyrinth. We are the rat that knows all the corners in the maze, so we don't get lost usually. We and we read the same original over and over again, dozens of times, and the reader usually they only read it once, so they have only one opportunity to understand everything, while we writers we read the same thing lots of times. So it's really different. When I send originals to my editor now, I never tell her anything about the story. She doesn't know anything, because I want her when she's reading to have the reader's experience. And I said, no, this is only for you to read, not to start editing. Just read it as a reader, and tell me what you think, if you understand, if you don't understand, make comments. And sometimes I cannot open and I want her to be cruel, to not to for instance, if something she can understand something 2 lines ahead, I want to know that she was not understanding that thing 2 lines before. So what happens usually is that I receive a document with 3,000 comments. Sometimes I cannot open it. She has to send me into separate files. But I like to work that way.